all those moments will be lost in time.
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're gonna talk about a very weird case. I don't know why I have to preface that every time. Do you really ever come here and hear about something entirely normal? No, so I don't know what's wrong with me. So today we're gonna talk about TikTok again. I know, I apologize. It's not a fixation, I promise. So I know that on this channel I often harp on about the negative aspects of social media, though there are many positive aspects. In this case, we'll see somewhat of a positive aspect, though the case is mostly negative. Surprise, surprise. Before we get into the video, I did want to thank today's sponsor, which is Native. What I look for in deodorants and body self-care products generally is for them to be natural and as free of chemicals as possible. In fact, Native deodorants are aluminum, paraben, and sulfate-free, as well as vegan and cruelty-free. They also have natural and familiar scents such as coconut oil and shea butter. A great aspect of Native is that the deodorant dries quickly and lasts a full day. My go-to scent is the lavender rose. I have mentioned this, I'm pretty sure, every time Native has sponsored me because it is my go-to favorite, but I also gravitate towards the cucumber mint because freshness in the hell that is this Southern California heat is very much appreciated. 3 deodorants are normally $36, but if you use my link and code, you'll get them for $24. That's 33% off with free shipping. Thank you to Native for sponsoring this video. Bodies of Washington couple identified after teens making TikTok discover their remains on beach. Police said the teenagers had been on the beach when they discovered a suitcase with a foul odor and called the police. Now, see, this is why I said TikTok is good in this case because it's bringing awareness to the fact that the suitcase was there and that remains were found. So for once, I guess there is a silver lining to TikTok. This case was trending a while ago, I realized, and I waited to comment on it simply because I wanted to make sure it wasn't a hoax. Teenagers making a TikTok video discovered the remains of a Washington couple inside a suitcase they found at the beach. A spokesperson for the King County Medical Examiner's Office confirmed the identities of the bodies to Oxygen.com as Jessica Lewis, 36, and her boyfriend, Austin Wenner, 27. The remains were discovered the afternoon of June 19th by 2 teenage girls, according to People. Seattle Police Detective Mark Jamieson told Oxygen.com the teenagers had been on the beach when they discovered a suitcase with a foul odor and called the police.
Guys, we found a suitcase at the beach.
Guys, go. I'll hold your stuff.
Go. Wait, open it. Open it. It stinks, y'all. Oh. Oh. Okay, so she's calling the police so we can see if it's actually a dead body or it's just food. Y'all, here's the crime scene.
First of all, that is insane. Just imagine going to the beach and filming a TikTok thinking that it's just gonna be a regular day like any other, and then all of a sudden you just come across a suitcase that smells terrible. Like, I immediately would go down the route of someone's been murdered and stuffed in a suitcase because, you know, that's just how my mind works. But that shit would be really scary. Like, I genuinely would be scared if I came across something like that. One aspect that the article in question that I'm reading did not mention, which I think is very important, is that the teenagers were using an app called Randonautica. Randonautica is essentially an app that brings you on adventures and tells you where to go. And this aspect is super fucking creepy because imagine you just think you're going on an adventure. It's like, go here, go here, go here. And then it leads you to a fucking suitcase with a foul odor and then ends up having dead bodies in it. Like, what the fuck? Obviously, Randonautica has said that they're so shocked that this occurred, but it makes me wonder, first of all, How is this all a coincidence? Like, I'm sorry, I can understand that, you know, maybe it just generated, yeah, go to this beach. Ugh. But also, it's very difficult for me to believe that it is entirely a coincidence, which then makes me think, who is running Randonautica? Is it really a company? Or is it maybe a group of serial killers that are leading you to their bodies and enjoying it like a game as if they're fucking Dexter Morgan? Allegedly, don't sue me, Randonautica. Love you. Bye. It's crazy to me sometimes to think about the level of coincidences that occur. So like that day, those two girls had to decide to go to the beach and they had to decide to go to that specific area, and that's how they came across the bodies. And that's part of what weirds me out so much about cases like this, is that you easily could have not come across anything. The suitcase could have been hidden. They could have gone to a different beach and maybe the remains would have never been found, you know? So like, I think that's also why cases like this are so fascinating to me, where you just come across something when you easily could have not. Have I been in the heat too much to the point where I don't make sense anymore? Let me know. Jamieson said the call was initially considered a low priority, but police officers arrived on the scene about an hour and a half later. This part kind of pissed me off for a second because I was like, why would that be low priority? But then again, it easily could have been a suitcase filled with rotting meat, I guess. And so like they didn't, I mean, like I understand why they wouldn't assume that there would be remains, human remains in there, but at the same time it's like a suitcase washing up on the beach smelling weird is suspicious enough to me where I would say that that's rather a high priority, because why would there be a suitcase filled with meat or fish that stinks on the, you know, like, come on, let's be real here. Officers did further investigation, determined that it was probable human remains, notified our homicide detectives, who in turn notified the ME's office, Jamieson said. We also had our harbor unit out there to assist. The bodies were discovered along the shores of Duwamish? I don't know, head in West Seattle, wrapped in plastic bags and stuffed into suitcases, according to a police statement. The video made by the teens shows one of the teenagers using a stick to open up one of the bags. Jamieson said authorities do not believe the video was staged. That would be a really fucked up video to stage. That sounds like something J Station would do. Truly, J Station would do something like that. We've interviewed them and we're actually glad that the video is out because it helps corroborate some of the information, Jamieson said. I can tell you that it's accurate. The bodies were discovered June 19th, but a spokesman for the medical examiner's office told Oxygen.com authorities believe both Lewis and Wenner died on June 10th. Wenner's cause of death has been listed as a gunshot wound to the torso, while authorities determined that Lewis died from multiple gunshot wounds. Jamieson said he did not believe any missing persons reports had been filed for the couple before the bodies were found. Police do not believe the homicides are connected to any other investigations in the area. No arrests have been made in the homicides, but Jamieson said detectives are continuing to investigate the case. Lewis' aunt, Gina Jaschke, told local station KING-TV the family is trying to raise money for a reward to help convince potential witnesses to come forward. Somebody knows something, she said. She described her niece as a ray of sunshine who worked as a caregiver for those with developmental disabilities. Lewis had been the mother of 4 children. It's a little bit strange to me that there was no missing persons report, or at least as far as they knew, they didn't, I don't know.
Wait a damn minute.
It's weird to me that no missing persons report had been filed before the couple was found. That being said, the only kind of quote-unquote excuse I can find for that is that they were supposed to go on vacation, or they were supposed to be out of town, or in some way not at their jobs and not at home. And that would make sense that the family members might not see or hear from them. But considering that Lewis had children, it seems impossible to me that there was no missing persons report, and if there wasn't, we need to start asking why not, because I don't want to say that the families are suspicious because I don't know yet. From what we have, I couldn't know, but nonetheless, if they're not reported, you'd wonder why, because both of these people seem like they had trackable lives, like they weren't people who lived by their suitcase and just traveled state to state. They seemed to be pretty established in where they lived and they had jobs. So I kind of wonder how it works out that there was no missing persons report, but you guys can let me know what you think about that in the comments. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons as always, and let's get right to the fan art.